Welcome back to another episode of TELUS On Location with Harvey and Gabby. I am Harvey, and that's Gabby behind the camera. Today we're at Wok N Roll, a traditional Canadian Chinese restaurant, and we're joined today by co-owners Wendy and her son Gavin Lee. Gavin's here with us also to just help express and translate what his mom's answers are, just because it's second language. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
So you've been doing restaurants for a while. When was Wok N Roll first opened?
Wok N Roll was first opened in 2005, but my mom and dad actually had experience or learned how to run a restaurant from someone who taught them when my dad first got here to Edmonton. They used to work at a place called Palabok House down in the south side. So yeah, that's where my dad started. And the owner at the time really liked my dad's work ethic. And then when he was wanting to take a step back and retire more, he asked my dad if he wanted to run the restaurant instead. So then my dad, took that opportunity, learned the ropes of running a restaurant. And then with my mom, they both ran that restaurant for a couple of years. And then after that, they opened their own restaurant. And then after that one was done, they closed it for a while. And then they came here in 2005. And we've been here ever since.
Okay, so Wok N Roll, you opened Wok N Roll from scratch by yourself.
There were previous owners of this restaurant, so we bought it off of them.
Okay.
We just kept the name, but everything else, we just did it our way versus their way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what makes your Chinese food so special?
I would say the effort and heart that they use in making it, because I've seen my dad cook in there and he's just working hard all the time, but just the flavors and the, I guess, tradition and effort that he puts into that, I think that really makes it special.
Also, when I think of Chinese food, and I think Gabby can attest to this, when we think of Chinese food nowadays, we always talk about the Chinese food is only good when you see that kid doing homework in the corner. You were that kid.
I was that kid.
So you grew up here, helping your mom work here.
Yes. Well, you can see that was kind of, nicer now because we recently did renovations. And before that, there was another phase of renovations. But then, when I was maybe 10 years old, 12 years old, I was a kid doing homework at the table. You walk in, you want to place an order, I'd run behind the counter and be like, what can I get you?
That's so cute. Do you think that makes it more tasty having a kid do work at the table?
I don't know if it makes it more tasty, but it is an indicator of the family that runs the restaurant.
Yeah. So speaking of family, what region of food do you guys specialize in China?
So we do southern Chinese food. So Guangdong province, Cantonese cuisine, Hong Kong style, that kind of food. Yeah, and in China, there's it's so big. There's a lot of variation, but that's what we mainly specialize in, and I think that's what most of the Chinese restaurants, at least here in Edmonton, also do.
And I think, see if your mom can answer this one. But what's the difference between Chinese food here, in Canada, specifically Edmonton, and the Chinese food in China?
Almost the same. The food in we doing here in China, but we also according to here what we get and make some different. And according to here, the people what they like it, the taste. So we change some
Ingredients.
ingredient and something like that.
Do you consider Western Chinese food, or do you consider it not Chinese food?
It's still Chinese food in a way. It has its roots in Chinese restaurant owners, trying to adapt to Western culture when they first come here. So yeah, I would say it's still Chinese food. It would just be American Chinese food.
Yeah. Tell us more about the dim sum.
So dim sum is a very classic Hong Kong, almost like a breakfast. We recently, I mean, I guess not recent. We started in the last couple of years, and yeah, it's just like it's like a la carte style. You order by the plate, and it's been really popular here as well. It's really contributed to success in our recent years.
For those of you that don't know, dim sum is kind of like, would you say it's like a breakfast, lunch, brunch?
Yeah, I would say brunch
It's like
style.
a brunch that was something popular in southern China. And a long time ago, like especially 80s, 90s, they would, maybe longer, I don't know actually, they would have little carts that they would take out and they would have food on them and they would go around the tables and then they would serve you the food that you would like. And in recent years, in North America, there are places that still do that. And in Edmonton, there's still places that still do that. But in China, that's something that's like retro now. That's not something that happens. So it's a tradition that is kept in Canada that has sort of vanished where it came from. Do you guys have a favorite dish here?
你最中意
點心，點心我哋最出名嘅係菠菜魚蓉腸喺 Edmonton，我哋係都最好嘅。
Oh,
So she's saying in Edmonton, our dish, and also our most, I guess my mom's favorite, is the fish puree in the rice roll. So rice roll is a very traditional dim sum food. It's basically just rice rolled into little long, almost like sausages, like almost like a crepe basically. I think some people call it rice crepes. And it's like, you put it in soy sauce or hot sauce or whatever, and then usually there's mix-ins. So our fish puree one is one of the most popular ones and one of the best in Edmonton.
what about you?
My favorite would probably be a classic dish, not dim sum. It's called the pan-fried beef noodles. It's the gongchao ngao. I think that's a very classic dish. I always order it whenever I go, even if I go to a different Chinese restaurant, because it's. They say it's a really solid indicator of how good the chefs are.
Really? Why is that? Why?
Because it's a lot of tests of their wok cooking skills. Because you have to do certain things, like you have to be good at it to get it right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Since you've been here for so long, since you were a kid, basically,
Yeah.
have you learned to cook a lot of Chinese food from your dad? So,
No.
if you don't know, his dad is also the chef here.
I am not actually. 'Cause
okay.
They didn't want me to do too
Hurt
much.
yourself?
Well, hurt myself, but also like they wanted me to study and do like a white collar job, I guess you could say. So they didn't want me to spend too much time, in the kitchen, like doing hard labor, basically. I still help out in other ways, but yeah, I've never actually been taught too much about how to cook.
What is something that on the dim sum menu that you want people to order more or try more of?
其實樣樣我都想啲人試，想啲人咩咁啊，因為唔同嘅人佢中意食嘅嘢唔同，咁佢order乜嘢我哋做乜嘢咁。
I'd say everything is good to try at least once because different people have different tastes, but as long as you're willing to try, I think they should try everything at least once. Yeah.
What is your favorite dim sum?
I would say the classic siu mai pork dumpling.
Sumai?
你最中意嘅點心？
我頭先咪講過魚蓉腸。
Oh, right.
The fish puree with the rice crepe.
Mine is the spare ribs. Like there's like these steamed spare ribs. It's always been like my favorite. I can't deal with that. What about you, Gabby? Do you have favorite dim sum?
I would have to say the shrimp. I can't have most of dim sum.
Oh, pork. Right. Wok N Roll, the name. Who came up
So-
with that? Or is it
So like I said, we bought this restaurant off of like a previous owner. The name was already Wok N Roll. We just kept it. But I mean, I think it's a pretty good name. Good pun, right?
yeah, it's eye-catching. But the name in Chinese is totally different.
Oh yeah, I
Is
know.
it-
你哋係咪嗰種
中文佢都係以前都係咁嘅，我哋就係 keep 住嘅名咁樣咁做。
Yeah, the Chinese name we also kept from the previous owner.
Yeah. What is the Chinese name? If you
花園酒樓。
So basically means flower garden restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
completely different.
Completely
thing. You
different.
got Wok N Roll in English for us, and then you got Flower Garden for Chinese people. So let's see. Let me just take a look here. So you've been here for quite a while. Was it hard to run a Chinese restaurant when you first started?
Yeah，有少少啦，因為以前就好啲，即係請人咧就易啲咁樣咧，咁就好啲。但係而家都好難嚇，因為你想好多人唔中意做廚師，因為太過辛苦咧，所以請人好難。而家就難啲，以前初開始嗰陣時就 OK， 好多人都中意做。
Yeah, she's saying in the past it was a lot easier because there was a lot more people willing to work in restaurants and kitchens, and that know how to cook Chinese food. Because in the past, like when they were starting, immigration wasn't as strict, so you could bring in people from China, Hong Kong, who already had experience, and they can work in the kitchen. But now it's a lot harder because of a lot of factors. Like for example, immigration is more stricter. Also, there are less people immigrating because China's a lot more developed nowadays. And nobody wants to work hard labor in the kitchen, right? It's very stressful. And to find someone who can meet the requirements of being able to speak Chinese, like Cantonese or Mandarin, that know how to cook already. Because it's really hard to teach them from scratch. You need some experience, right?
Do you think Chinese food, like cooking Chinese food, might start becoming like not a dying art, but a lot more difficult to come by in the future? Like all the chefs now are that know what they're doing are getting quite old and they're about to retire. Like,
Yeah,
do you
exactly.
foresee it becoming more rare to have good Chinese food in Canada?
我諗住都係好多人even 我哋去 Vancouver 都好多人 retire 都好多以前中意食做好嗰啲菜嗰咧，都而家都少啲，冇人做咁多嗰啲。
It definitely is getting harder because, like you said, a lot of the chefs who were making the Chinese food, they're retiring, they're getting older, and then nobody's coming here, nobody wants to learn. Yeah,
So no pressure. You have to, just keep up the rest of the tradition for all of us. It's all
Yeah.
good. So before we head over to the kitchen, I just wanted to ask one last question. If someone is trying Chinese food for the first time, the very first time, what dish would you recommend?
我要睇下佢係乜嘢人。如果佢係 Canadian people 咧，咁我就會叫佢食好似古佬肉、四川牛或者牛肉炒雜菜啊咁樣，炒飯、炒麵咁樣。如果係中國人咧，我就又唔同啦，我又唔會叫佢食牛肉雜菜，我叫佢食牛肉芥蘭啊、蒜香雞啊、蜜桃蝦啊嗰啲咁嘅咯。
So it depends on the person coming in. If it's like a, born in Canada, Western person who's never tried Chinese food for the first time, I would say go towards the Western Chinese food because the flavors are a lot more easier to start with. That's why a lot of Westerners like the Western Chinese food.
Well, let's take a quick break. We're just gonna head over to the kitchen and learn how to make some delicious Chinese food. All right, now we're in the kitchen of Wok N Roll. You can see we're quite busy here, so we're gonna try not to get in the way. This is one of the chefs right here. I'd say the head chef.
That's my dad.
That's your dad. And what is your dad making? What's he cooking?
He's frying the cashews for the beef tenderloin and cashew dish that I was talking about earlier. So that's also one of our most popular dishes, and one that we're pretty famous for because it's just so good over here.
And oh, I'm gonna get in a little closer. Wow. I hope I'm not in the way.
No, you're good.
Okay.
As long as you're okay with the oil splashing
Yeah.
everywhere, it might get on your equipment.
Look at that wok skill. Do you want to ask your dad how long it took him to get this skill?
佢哋問你學幾耐先知咁樣？And I said he's been cooking for 35 years.
35 years. Oh my goodness. We're gonna get a little bit closer here. So as you can see, his technique is on point, I think.
I wouldn't be able to tell you, but
Oh,
I would
okay.
assume so.
We should really learn more how to cook with a wok. So that's really cool. I didn't know there was like water running underneath,
Yeah.
and then there's like a huge flame.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about. Like, there's a huge flame under the wok. You have to make sure you control the temperature just right, or else, the food will get overcooked, or, undercooked if you're too scared.
Right. And how's he?
So that was the beef being fried in the oil as well. You put in the vegetables at the end there. And that's like, they put it all over there. The oil goes in there. And then a lot of the times that oil gets reused rather than because it has all the flavor.
So it's like seasoned oil.
Yeah. So like they're letting it dry out a little bit over there,
Mhm.
and then he's putting in garlic, I believe, and then he'll put the food back in. Probably add a little bit of the oil in as well.
And everything is so fast. Is this like the secret to Chinese food? Like it's not. Well, look at that. It's not just good. It's fast.
Well, like you try to be fast, but food will take time. Food will take its time to cook.
Yeah. Done already.
Yep.
Wow. And that's so your mom is usually back there. So when your dad's done, hand it to your mom.
Yeah. Or one of the
Or one of the
servers.
what a
And then-
team.
Like we'll have like the bills up here stuck,
Yeah.
and then they'll just see which table it is and take it out.
Whoa. Good.
So that's fried kale leaves.
Ooh. All right, welcome back. We are here again with all these wonderful cooked dishes. We're joined by Gavin's dad and head chef. Actually, I'm not sure how to introduce his name.
Let's say whoa.
Whoa, the head chef. We're gonna try out some dishes. So this one right in front of us, what do we call this one?
This one's the green bean with minced pork. Today we took out the pork so Gabby could eat it as well, but it still tastes just as great.
Nice. And if you want to ask the chef, what is so special about this dish?
呢啲豆係咩 special？
即係好多人食呢個豆咯，唔明我哋煮嗰陣時咧係同人哋唔同嘅，嗰度係我哋自己做嘅嘢放落去嘅。
He said, we cook it different from other places. We have like our own special, like secret way to do it that makes it just that much more special than
Can we-
other restaurants.
Can we know the secret? What's the secret?
你點止係特別㗎？
好似佢哋用個 vinegar 係唔同咯。
So they use a different vinegar than the one we use, which
Oh.
is probably that's what makes the difference there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's give it a try.
You can try.
If it-
I've had it.
Let's have your parents go first. Okay, okay. Well, I like it. I like can I say umami? Is that a flavor I can throw out there to pretend I know what I'm talking about? That's really good. I really like the little kind of shrimpy tail taste to it. So it's like
Yeah.
a little bit, not fishy, but what's the
What's the word?
like you know that salted? Oh, sorry.
因為我哋有啲蝦買俾我嘅，所以你 taste 佢咁樣。
Was it?
So there's little mini shrimp that they put in there. Yeah, so that's what you're tasting there.
No, please. Holy, I don't want to be the only one eating. I feel strange. Oh, they
Okay. Yeah, so you try the next one.
This one's got noodles in it, and I'm really
Yeah,
bad at
seafood chow mein.
Seafood chow mein, yeah.
Oh, I like the. So these noodles are like crispy, and then they're on top is like a cream. So it kind of soaks the noodles and makes them. Look at some big, some crunchy noodles and sauce that makes it really nice and soft.
Yeah, and our seafood chow mein, it has a bunch of different seafood in it. There's squid, shrimp, scallops as well. And then there's the vegetables, there's the choy sam, which is like a Chinese vegetable. And then there's mushrooms and bell peppers. This is the beef tenderloin with cashew nuts. So like we were talking about earlier, it's one of our most popular dishes. It's also, I guess, it wouldn't be most ordered because it is a little bit pricey because of the beef, but it is one of our like most famous ones.
It looks delicious. I really like the crispy kale and the cashew nuts. I don't know if the camera can see, but like you can smell it from. Oh, looks so good. And what about this dish? Where does this originate from?
咁啲牛喺邊度出？
啊不過
唔係咁嘅呢個餐係咪喺香港？
係我哋
係我哋攬出嚟。
哦，我哋攬出嚟㗎。
係我哋不斷咁改良做出嚟。
So this dish actually, we came up with it on our own after trying similar ones from other places as well. So this is our take.
This is the Wok N Roll special dish right here, I think. By the way, if you want to ask your dad, earlier we were talking about wok hei.
Okay.
What gives food good wok hei?
啲鑊係點係好鑊氣？
學鑊氣咧，好似呢啲咁樣，有時炒嘢呢啲其實唔係燶嘅，係佢係辣香嘅，佢嗰樣一啖炒上嚟，嗰時候咧你聞到咧佢係好香嘅，唔係有係鑊氣咧係唔燶係之間，同焦咗係之間嗰度咧，咁所以好多人炒。係個鑊氣嚟嘅，佢哋以為係燶咗咁樣，但係識食嗰啲就係要攞嗰種鑊氣。
So he's saying that some food when you cook in the wok, if it's like properly cooked, it sort of looks burnt because you can see like scorch marks and stuff on it, but it's not actually burnt. It's like in that just before it gets that state, it has the crispiness and the freshness, I think.
Yeah, I guess like the
好似呢啲咁樣係咪？如果一般人嘅話，其實呢度咧係辣香咗嘅，佢係金黃嘅，係咪？咁呢啲係。
So it's like that state just before burnt was sort of like caramelized almost, I think you would say.
so like I guess like would you say seared? Kind of like seared, and it gives it that like aroma.
Yeah.
That gives it like really good flavor and aroma. Kind of like from what I'm surmising, it's kind of like when you have a grill and you get that like nice charcoal grill flavor. So it's similar to that, I think, right?
Yeah, I would say.
All right, let's try that now. So these next two
呢
is
個係菠菜魚蓉腸。
and it's sorry.
菠菜魚蓉腸就係我哋先做得咁靚嘅。
So this is the fish puree and the rice roll, which is what we were talking about before. She said only we make it this nice.
I believe, you know what? I haven't actually seen this nice anywhere. So
Yeah. But yeah, like inside the rice roll, there's the fish puree, and it's also wrapped in like a bean curd wrap, to sort of give it more structure.
yeah, you know what? I actually have tried this in other places, but usually it's kind of soggy inside for how it is here. The outside is really soft, and then the bean curd actually gives it like a nice little crispy texture. And then, yeah, the filling is really delicious too. And this is, sorry, talking mouthful. And this is like these next two are what you would call dim sum, right?
Yeah. So the next three here, four, actually the dishes on this side are all dim sum. So this would be the hagao, the shrimp dumpling, and this is the fu peking, which is the pan-fried bean curd roll with the shrimp inside and vegetables. And then over there is the barbecue pork pastry, and our house special barbecue pork bun.
I'm gonna do one more. I've had this a million times.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
one of
gonna-
the dim sum staples. People always order
just
siu mai and hagao.
the classic.
頭先你哋引佢引佢咪做添。
Oh.
Earlier when we were in the
Yeah.
kitchen, they were filming this being made, like put into the wrappers and stuff. So the wrappers, when you were filming it, it wasn't see-through. It turns see-through after you steam it.
Oh, so
Yeah.
I like how thin it is too.
整開佢入邊一下，
Oh.
You said to open it and look at the shrimp inside.
Open it and look at the shrimp inside.
Yeah.
How do I? Oh my gosh. So open it and look at the shrimp inside, which I'm doing very well, I'm sure. That's a nice shrimp. Can you see? I don't know if you can see. Tell me what is special about your hakao.
我哋蝦餃有咩嘢 special？
都係好傳統嘅香港嗰個 style。蝦餃就好傳統嘅，蝦餃同燒賣依家都係好傳統嘅，都係香港嗰個 style 嗰個味道。但係一般喺呢度做嗰啲咧，嗰個味道係變晒嘅。啊！但係我哋都係 keep 翻做翻香港嗰個味道。
So he's saying how we followed as close as possible to how they make it in Hong Kong, because a lot of the places here, like after years of being here, the flavor kind of changes a little bit, so it's not exactly the same. Whereas we tried to keep it as similar as possible to what you would find in Hong Kong.
This is really good. I actually had one more question for the chef before I get Gabby to try some of this food because he's been looking at us eat. Is there maybe any chance in the future you might experiment with northern Chinese? Because a lot of Chinese restaurants here are all southern, like Cantonese style cooking. Will you ever try any food from like the northern region of China?
佢問你睇下我哋整廣東菜啊嘛，你要我想整北方嗰啲菜？
暫時我哋都係主力係廣東菜，北方菜咧佢哋即係北方菜有北方菜我好，但係我哋都未嘗試去做，慢慢睇下咯。
He's like, we've had no thoughts of it just because we're so good at doing our southern Chinese food. He didn't say there's no possibility, maybe in the future. But because, China is such a big country, if there's a market for it, someone will open a northern Chinese food restaurant. But yeah,
Why fix what's not broken?
exactly.
It's working well. So I'm just gonna swap places with Gabby real quick because he's been looking at us like with his mouth watering.
See, we're learning. I'm gonna try this one out first. That's okay. Oh wow. The texture on this one is very good. Outside's nice and crisp. Inside the shrimp is very like soft and gooey, delicious. Oh man, yeah, like it's got kind of like it's not a paste, but it's like chunks of shrimp almost, and it's like really good.
I would say I like the chewiness of it.
Can I do this one?
Yeah.
Right. It's like almost see-through. I like that effect. Yeah, you can see right through it. I'm gonna see what the shrimp looks like because I couldn't see it from over there. Oh wow, Yeah, it's nice and cooked inside. Like, wow. Let's try it out. It has a nice doughy taste. But I'm still impressed at how it went from like being solid white to clear see-through. It's like a cool effect. That's awesome. This one's really good. Also an 8.
Also, wait.
Yeah. And then this was,
The fish puree rice roll.
yeah, this is your favorite, yes? Yeah. Okay.
Gabby, what'd you think?
This is a 9. This was really, really good. I actually had 2 because it's so good. I thought it was gonna be like, because I always don't like too much fish taste, but this has like, it's fishy, just enough to know that's the fish puree, but like, this is really good. Yeah, so far this is my favorite. And I could have this one, yes?
Yes.
They made it without pork.
It's very nice and crunchy. I wasn't expecting the crunch. That's nice. Very fresh. The the seasoning on there, like again, there's like a hint. You said it was shrimp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just enough, right? But you taste the vegetable first, and then just that hint of shrimp.
Which one's your favorite?
Oh, it's gotta be the beef.
Yep.
It's the beef, and then those two are very very good. Both great choices. But like the beef, like it feels like a lot of work was put in it because it's so soft. And then the kind of it's fish, right? The fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I had one, and then after one I was like, the second one, yeah. You can tell on camera. I can't hide it. I have no poker face, but it was ultra delicious.
We're just gonna switch back the last 2 dishes.
Oh, yeah?
Oh my goodness. So the last 2 I've been waiting to just try. Oh, sure. I was just gonna come cut it in half, but these last 2 Gabby unfortunately can't have because there's pork in it. And let me just fix my mic. I've got it backwards. Oh my gosh. So while I'm doing this, I actually have another question for the chef. What is your favorite dish to make? Not to eat, but to cook.
你最中意煮咩嘢餐？唔係食，你中意煮嘅餐係邊種？
冇話中意邊個，我邊個親我都中意。只要呢啲人即係中意食嘅，我哋就係中意煮嘅，係咪？
Saying he doesn't have a particular favorite. He just loves to see people's faces enjoying the food after he cooks it, and that's what brings him the joy in cooking.
好似呢個咁樣，呢個係好多工嘅，呢個魚都係好多工嘅。我哋都堅持咁做，就係啲人中意食啊嘛，我咪即係做到最好咯。
Saying because like even though there's a lot of labor in making like this beef dish or this fish dish, there's a lot of process and a lot of work into making these dishes. Even though there's a lot of work in it, they still make it because they like to see people enjoy it.
Yeah, I can feel the passion that goes into like each dish. It's so well done, and just like so flavorful. I can tell that your dad, the chef, cares a lot about the food that's coming out, and I think that's what's making it really special. And I like that it's on the north side where I live.
I think we're one of there's only a few Chinese restaurants in like the north side versus going down to Chinatown, and I would say we're probably one of the best, if not the best.
Thank you. Oh,
But that's just my biased opinion.
you're biased. That's okay. You're just next to your dad and chef and parents, the owner. No pressure. I'm gonna give this one a try because I've been waiting to try this. Do you want to split this one? Can we split
Yeah,
it?
we can.
Oh my gosh, look at the inside of that. Can you do it? Ooh. So it's nice and like crimson red inside of like pork.
Yeah, so that's barbecue pork
pork.
inside. Yeah.
Do you make your own, like roast your own barbecue pork?
Yeah, we roast it ourselves. And the top has like frosting layer. So they put the frosting on top, and then when they put it in the oven, this is what it comes out like. So it's a little bit of a sweet and salty.
It's so good. Is this like also your creation or from like a Hong Kong?
呢個係咪自己整嘅呢啲包？
呢個係咩
或者
style？
呢個我哋去即係去其他粒埠食過人哋嘅，翻嚟我
我哋去
哋
溫哥華食嗰陣時，溫哥華好多整呢啲。
但係佢整咧我哋又有分別，我哋有改良咁樣做咗。
改咗啲咩嘢？
即係啲餡啲皮咁我哋都要去做咯。我識咗佢嘅嘢，翻嚟我哋再去。
So they're saying they got the inspiration for this one from, I think at the time in Vancouver, there was a lot of restaurants doing something similar. So when they tried it and they came back, they just did their own take. So even though it's similar, it's like our own version of it.
I see. So if you've had barbecue pork buns, they're usually just like very soft steamed buns. But I really, really like this version because like the top is so like sweet and crispy. So you get that like nice little like crispy crunch at the top, and inside is just like really soft and juicy. I really like it. Oh my god. I'm making a mess. Okay. I'm gonna finish that one later because that's so good. Last dish. I've actually never seen this one before. What is this one?
So that's like we call it the baked barbecue pork
Oh, no.
pastry.
Oh no.
So it's sort of like a puff, but like, so inside is also barbecue pork, and outside is like that pastry puff that you would get. And on top, after it's all baked and stuff, they put honey over it.
That's so good. I'm so sad Gabby can't have it because the top is like very, very flaky, and it reminds me of like baklava. You know?
Oh yeah.
So
I see
the
what
top,
you mean.
and Gabby loves baklava. So the top is like really flaky with that kind of pastry, and it's glazed with honey. So it's really sweet and flaky, crispy. And inside is it also barbecue pork?
It's also barbecue pork. Yeah.
And it's barbecue pork, but it feels like it's minced more, like smaller. Or am I crazy here? Smaller, yeah.
Smaller.
More fine, I guess.
Sliced garlic barbecue pork. That one
So good.
different cutting.
Wow.
Yeah, it is cut differently.
Well, thank you so much for letting us try all your awesome dishes. I think that's actually all the time we have. And could you tell us where we can find you?
So yeah, our restaurant's at 12730 82nd Street Northwest in Edmonton. We don't really have social media, but you can find us, just Google Maps. You can Google Wok N Roll Restaurant. And we're like right by the Yellowhead Trail, right across from, there's like Canada Post Depot over there. And yeah.
The best Chinese restaurants don't have social media. Keep that one in mind. So, thank you guys. Oh, and what time are you guys open?
We're open 10 to 9 on weekdays, except for Tuesdays. We're closed on Tuesdays. That's our day off. And then Friday and Saturday, we're open 10 to 10.
10 to 10.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to come here a lot more. Okay, well, thank you so much, Gavin and Wendy and Chef Lee. Can I call him Chef Lee? Is that?
Yeah.
Chef Lee, thank you so much for your time. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of On Location with Harvey and Gabby in the back.
Thank you.
Bye.